Bonjour, Kinamagi and Nene Ireland Edishnikas, and welcome to this presentation of the Mind Math Network. Today's lesson, Chapter 3, Lesson 12, Interpret the Remainder. The essential question in Chapter 3, what strategies can be used to divide whole numbers? So let's have a discussion. Does a remainder always have the same meaning? If you paid attention in lesson 11, you would know that sometimes we might have to add the remainder as if it was a whole to our whole number part of the quotient. And sometimes we might just cut it off, depending on what this rest of the problem has to do. This really only applies in story problems. Because if you're doing this as part of just a regular plain division worksheet, you're going to use the remainder or a fraction or decimal version of as part of your quotient. So let's model one. How many groups of 3 can be formed by our class? Model the solution by forming groups and counting. Then find the quotient of the number of people in the class divided by 3. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that we're all here. And that way we're not in our group of 3 as we would be today, because that seems like it would be kind of boring to put us in one group. So how many students are in our class? 13. And how many groups of 3 would that be? So we would say that one group of 3, 6, 9, 12. There are 4 full groups. So what do you think we would do with them? Let's find out what the text says. Text says nothing, and we'll like it. Realistically, if I was looking to figure out how many full groups of 3, I would cut it off. If I was trying to group us like who's going to work with what teachers, I would add a teacher. So it really is going to depend on your situation at hand. So let's look at if we're putting it in groups of 4. Well, it's going to be the same thing, except now we're going to have 3 groups of 4 with a student left over. This activity might be actually more fun with a larger group where you can move students around. An extension. Stella wants to buy gumballs to share with her friends. She has 75 cents. Each gumball costs 7 cents. How many gumballs can Stella buy? Can you name the coin she will receive as change? So what I can do is let's divide 75 by 7. I have 7. 5 is my dividend. My divisor is 7. We start in here in the tens place. 7 will go into 7 once. Identity property, 7 times 1 is 7. I subtract, I get a 0. 0 is less than 7. I bring down, I get a 5. 7 will not go into 5, so I put a 0. 0 times 7 is 0. I'll subtract. And now I have a remainder of 5. So how many gumballs can she buy? Well, the answer was 10. That was our whole number. And she'll have 5 cents left over. Hopefully you know what coin that is. That would be you're right, a nickel. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the text. This will be page 227. Make this a little larger. It says, example basic, a state park has 257 evergreen trees to plant equally in 9 areas. How many evergreens are planted in each area? What does the remainder represent? So I'm going to pull my annotation tool. Place the first digit. 9 does not go into 2. And if you remember from last week, then we regroup this 2 groups of 100 as 20 groups of 10, and we have 25 tens. 9 goes into 25 twice. 2 times 9 is 18. 25 minus 18 is 7. 9 goes into 77 8 times. If you need to use the 9 tricks, go ahead. 8 times 9 is 72. 77 minus 72 is 5. So my answer is going to be 28, remainder 5. Would like you to go ahead and make sure this is written in. If you need to pause the video in order to do that, feel free to do such. So what we find out here is the remainder 5 means there are 5 evergreens left over. Now they might give those away. They might plant them somewhere else. Highly doubt you're just going to throw them away. But for this situation, if it has to be exactly the same in an area, you're going to move them somewhere else. So we'll truncate it today. I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen here. Let's go to the next page. Here we go. Example niche. We'll cut off just the bottom here. There are 174 guests invited to a dinner. Each table seats 8 guests. How many tables are needed? Let me grab my annotation tool, my text here. 8 goes into 17 twice. Notice that we just assume we're going to have to place the first digit because 8 doesn't go into 1. 8 times 2 is 16. 17 minus 16 is 1. 1 is less than 8, so I bring down the 4. I have 14. 8 goes into 14 once. One times 8 is 8. 14 minus 8 is 6. So I have 21, remainder 6. I would need 21 tables originally, but what are you going to do with those extra 6 people? Are you going to make them stand? Of course not. You're going to get another table for them. So we would end up needing 22 tables. If you've noticed, this is no different than what we did yesterday. So I'm going to ask you to do some independent practice here. Let me clear my drawings. I would like you all to try number 2. I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and then you're going to come back and give me an answer. You may pause the video now. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. There are 50 students traveling in vans on a field trip. Each van seats 8 students. How many vans are needed? 50 divided by 8 is going to be 6, remainder 2. And you can't put students outside of a seatbelt, and you can't put them on the hood. So you're going to have to get a 7th van. So that's why the answer is 7 vans. Let's go ahead and do at least one more practice. How many payments of $10 would it take Samuel to purchase the scooter shown at the right? So we have 79 divided by 10. Go ahead and pause the video, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. 79 divided by 10 is 7, remainder 9. On the 7th payment, you're still going to owe $9. The 8th payment is the one that puts you over, even though you won't spend a full $10. So 8 is the number you need. And one more practice here. Let's move to number 6. Students on the softball team earned $2.95 from a car wash. How many team banners can they buy if each banner costs $8? Go ahead, pause the video. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. So on this one, you have to go 295 divided by 8, which is going to give you an answer of 36 with a remainder of 7. And you're going to leave that remainder as just plain left over. You cannot buy a banner for less than the price it costs, unless you are very lucky. At this point, I would like you to complete the assignment. You may complete it via the worksheet on 231 and 232, or the attached Google form to this post. If you do one, please do not do the other. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at mislandedpsychchipschool.net or visit our office hours at 2 p.m. daily. Hope you all have a mental Gizigad. Bye-bye.